Hey, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. Staten Island, Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you are now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 144th episode of the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Live and direct from StreamYard and the comfort of my room and YouTube. If you miss any episodes of server, please feel free to go ahead and catch up on the episodes, subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment. Tell me how you feel about the reviews topics in each episode, including this one. I know some of y'all miss my voice. Did y'all miss me? I'm pretty sure many of you at home do. And long story short, it's not just a job thing. It's also the fact that, I've been trying to keep up with most of the New York Mets games. As many of you may know, I am a New York Mets fan. And yeah, and I do sometimes have to shuffle around the recording podcast episode schedule. So so now that I'm back, I will be back with another episode and more episodes to come in the future. So, um, so without further ado, what do you say? We take a deep dive and have a little something to drink of some music Kool-Aid. This is the segment where I actually get into some hip hop histories, music discographies of albums, EPs, LPs, whatever it may be. But this time, this is a this is basically music news actually. Um, so let's get into it right here, right now, with the music Kool-Aid segment. Hold on, folks. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here, but give me one moment, folks. All right. All right. Let's get into this right here. All right. So let's talk some music projects that's releasing in the month of July. All right. So this is according to Pitchfork. All right. So a regularly updated guide to the new albums, EPs, mixtapes, and projects getting released in the coming weeks and months. So, of course, obviously, um, you have all right. So, um, new albums are getting announced and released constantly. It's tough to stay on top of it all. So that's where we focus tracking notable new music releases and with our guide to upcoming albums. In the upcoming months, there will be new releases from Wednesday, Big Thief, Alex G, Wolf Alice, Sabrina Carpenter, Lucretia Adult, Hunks and his Punks, Kate Lee Bond, um, A. Murray, Cardi B, Nico Case, Indigo D'Souza. They are getting a body of water. Oh shit. Leon Vinehall, Vinehall, Saint Etienne, David Byrne, the Lemonheads. Oh man. Jeff Tweedy, Luffy Geese. Oh shit. Whitney, Ryan Davis, and Road and the Roadhouse Band, and plenty of more artists. Of course, this guide features streaming and digital releases dates will be updated regularly. So, starting with July 17th, Cleo Reed, um, that's country, of course, anyway. United Masters. July 18th, Alex G, Headlights. Alex Warren, you'll be all right, kid. Atlantic. Um, Che, Rest in Base. 10 projects. Coral Grief, Air Between Us. Suicide Squeeze. Destiny Blood. Ray Chica, Nayard, and Nina Keefe. Um, this DC Need Blood, Smuggler's Array. DJ Harem, besides myself, Hyperdub. Fourth Wanderers, the longer this goes on, Sub Pop. Jim Legacy, Black British Music. Um, XL 2025. Laura Jane Grace in the Trauma Tropes. Adventure Club, Polyvinyl. Madeline Kenny, Kiss from the Balcony, Car Park. Raekwon the Chef, The Emperor's New Clothes, Mass Appeal. Silk Money, Who waters the wilting giving tree once the leaves dry up and fruits no longer bear? Lex. Silkback, Attrition, Planet Moo, Sly and the Family Stone, The First Family live at the Winchester Cathedral, 1967, High Moon, Soft, hold on, Sophie Birch and Antonia Nowaka, um, High Riff, High Rafe, Unsound, Zach Farrow, Operator, congrats. Let's see. July 25th. Let's see. July 25th, right? Yeah, Far Caspian Auto Fiction Tiny Library, Fever Ray, The Year of the Radical Romantics, Mute, Heatmeister, Mike City Sons, 30th Anniversary, Third Man, Indigo D'Souza, um, Precipice, Loma Vista, Kurt Vile, Classic Love, EP, Verve. Um, you got Ryan Davis and the Roadhouse Band, New Threats from the Soul, Sophomore Lounge. Stars of the Lid music for Nitrous Oxide, 30th year anniversary remastered. Artificial Pine Arch Manufacturing, Tyler Childers, Snipe Hunter, Hickman Holla, RCA. Now you got Mal DeVista, um, Pal Limps, Pal Limpsa, Top Shelf. All right, let's go to I want to go. Let's go to. I want to go to I want to go to All right, so okay, so let's see. Let's see hip hop albums. Hip hop albums 2025. Let's see. Um okay, let's see. Let's see. So let me see. Album release dates. Fresh hip hop and R&B. Let's take a look here. Um, let's take a look at the month of July for a sec. All right, so coming out for the month of July, of course, the 4th of July, Jid with GDLU Prelux. Of course, Justin Bieber's Swag album's coming out this Friday alongside with Clips. Let God sort them out. Rob 49, Let Me Fly, Deluxe, Travis Scott and Jack Boys 2, Ace Hood Soul, Joyner Lucas, ADHD 2, Raekwon the Chef, The Emperor's New Clothes, Ty Dolla Sign, Tycoon, Kevin Gates, Luca Brasi for Vito, E. Pit, Epitomone, Epitome, excuse me, Young Boy, never broke again. Make America slime again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. Oh man, this is too funny. This is too funny right there. Let's see. You got the month of August coming up. You have Jid God does like ugly. Sierra CC Deluxe, Kid Cudi Free, Tiana Taylor Escape Room, and of course the only album coming out in September is Cardi B's Am I the Drama album. So so yeah, so that's pretty much it for music albums that's coming out and stuff. Um so there you go right there. Now now let's get into let's get into a review for Black Phone. Y'all remember the movie Black Phone, the horror movie, right? That's gonna be part of our segment right here, which is the Chillax Man Cave Popcorn Lounge. All right. So Let's go over the film. So Black Phone is the horror R-rated movie that we're gonna go over, and to see what the budget of to see what the budget of the movie is and how did it do. So let's get into it right here. So the Black Phone is a 2021 American supernatural horror film directed by Scott Derrickson from a screenplay co-authored with longtime collaborator C. Robert Cargill. It stars Mason Thames as Finney, a teenage boy abducted by a serial child killer known Carlo Carlo Key Carlo Chioli, um, as the Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke. When Finney encounters a mis- mystical black rotary phone in captivity, he uses it to plot his escape by communicating with the ghosts of the Grabber's slain victims. Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davies, and James Ransom also feature in the principal cast. Derrickson and Cargill produced the Black Phone in association with excuse me, in association with Blumhouse Productions, of course, CEO Jason Blum. Universal Pictures oversaw the film's commercial distribution, and funding was sourced through a pact with Blumhouse and tax subsidized from the North Carolina state government. Okay, now the budget we're gonna get into it. So the idea of the Black Phone arose from Derrickson and Cargill's adaptation of Joe Hill's short story of the same name. Derrickson struggled to produce additional ideas that supplemented the short story, shifting his attention to other filmmaking endeavors. The film remained dormant until he resigned from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness 2022 over creative differences. Derrickson used his childhood experiences in suburban Denver, Colorado to develop the Black Phone story. Principal photography began in February 2021 on a 16 to $18 million budget and wrapped the following month. Shooting took place on the sets and on location in Wilmington, North Carolina. Mark Corvin composed the film's score, which drew on a modern and vintage synthesizer sounds. The Black Phone premiered at Fantastic Fest on September 25th, 2021, and opened in U.S. theaters after several delays on June 24th, 2022. It was an unexpected hit at the box office and finished its theatrical run grossing $161.4 million globally. The film received generally positive reviews from the critics who praised its performances but were divided on its concept. The success of the Black Phone spawned the in-canon short film Dreamkill, also directed by Derrickson and written by him and Cargill, released in 2023 as part of the anthology film VHS 85. A sequel, Black Phone 2, is scheduled for release on October 17th, 2025. Now, $161.4 million, right? So, let me see. Okay, so there you go, right there. Let me. I want to see something real quick. Actually, let me see something real quick. Just give me 1 second. Let's see something here. Hmm. Oh wow. Anyway, let's keep going with this actually. So, um all right, so let's see what yeah. Just trying to figure out what the so there's no I don't know what the marketing looks like, but I don't know what the marketing looks like, but let's go to the reception of the box office, all right? So the Black Phone was considered a surprise box office success as studios anticipated meager profits for theaters screening lower budget films, closed as a consequence of COVID-19 pandemic control measures. The film finished its theatrical run, grossing $90.1 million in the United States and Canada, which is 55.8% of its earnings, and $71.3 million internationally, 44.2%, for a global total of $161.4 million. Of this figure, $67.8 million was estimated to have been yielded by Blumhouse and Universal in net profit, factoring in advertising, production, interest, administrative overhead, residuals, and miscellaneous costs. After securing $3 million from advanced screenings, the film received a wide release across 3,150 theaters in the United States. It opened as the fourth highest grossing movie of the week with $23.3 million, moderately exceeding the pre release estimates of $15 to $20 million. About $1.7 million of the figure came from Los Angeles area cinemas alone: New York, Dallas, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, San Francisco, Phoenix, Philadelphia, and Washington also represented much of the film's biggest takings. Exit polling conducted during opening night revealed the average opinion moviegoers gave the film was positive, ranging from a B plus on Cinema Score to an 86% score on Post Track. Audiences skewed younger, and the main reasons given to see the film were the trailer, the Blumhouse connection, and Hawk. The following weekend saw the theater count peak to 3,156 despite box office figures dropping by 48%, and the Black Phone finished the third week as the number six film with $7.66 million. Weekend, the film slipped further to the number seven position with a gross of $5.3 million. Its theater its theater counting narrowing to 2,271. The Black Phone remained one of the top 10 highest grossing films for 7 consecutive weeks. By August 2022, the film's domestic gross topped um, $85.8 million. The Black Phone debuted overseas, grossing $13.4 million from 45 countries for a total sum of $35.8 million. Mexico comprised the largest portion of earnings with $3.4 million. reportedly one of the country's all-time biggest opening grosses for a horror film, followed by the United Kingdom, $1.7 million, the Middle East, $1.4 million, including 700,000 from Saudi Arabia, France, $800,000, and Spain, $600,000. Second week earnings dropped by just 28% to $8.3 million, thanks to the film's continued global rollout and sustained momentum in Mexico, Europe, and Saudi Arabia. Expansion into Australia, $1.54 million, Brazil, $1.3 million, and several overseas markets. Buoyed the Black Phone's performance in the week of July 24th, grossing $6.9 million. By September 11th, the film's offshore gross exceeded $69.7 million. Now, critical response. The Black Phone opened to mostly favorable reviews. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 81% of 268 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 7.0 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, "The Black Phone might have been even more frightening, but it remains an entertaining, well-acted adaptation of scarily good source material." Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score 65 out of 100, based on 38 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. A commonly discussed aspect in the media was the script writing. They were inclined to compare the Black Phone to Hill's short story based on tone and style, with critics saying the film's script argumented ideas faithful to the source material. Another point of notice was the script's treatment of a traditional serial killer story in the approach and period setting, which Chicago Sun Times stated made for one of the better cinematic nightmares in recent years. On the other hand, the media deferred over the handling of ideas, often singling out the film's supernatural elements for further scrutiny, with one review from Variety claiming its emphasis undermined tension building in the story. Others were unanimous in their opinion that the Black Phone's depicted concept fell short of their expectations. Plotting, characterization, and pacing was ascribed to mistakes in the writing. Although the Los Angeles Times singled out intense basement set controversial scenes, with Finney as the film's most compelling moments. The harshest reviews accused the Black Phone of being repetitive, tasteless, and tortuously overwritten. Please. All right, let's go over some awards that the movie and the cast received. So it's a combination of nominations and the awards being won. So how Black Phone got a nomination for the Hollywood Critics Association Mid-Season Film Awards for Best Horror. Mark Corvin got a nomination for the Hollywood Music and Media Awards for Original Score Horror Film. The Black Phone won the Saturn Awards for Best Horror Film. Ethan Hawke, along with Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill, Madeline McGraw, and Mason Thames, got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor in the Film, Best Writing, Best Younger Actor in a Film. All right, Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill won the Bram Stoker Award for Superior achievement in screenwriting. And the Black Phone movie won the Hollywood Critics Association Film Awards for Best Horror Film. And also, the Black Phone won the Fangora Chainsaw Awards for Best Wide Release Movie. And C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson won for Best Screenplay. All right, so sequel and related media. So Hill pitched Derrickson follow-up ideas examining the Black Phone characters as early as June 2022. Derrickson discussed the possibility of a sequel further while embarking on the press tour for The Black Phone. The film's success led to immediate negotiations that August and by August 2020, excuse me, and by October 2023 rather. Um, Universal commissioned the Black Phone 2 with a scheduled release date of June 27, 2025. Derrickson and Cargill will resume their screenwriting duties while Hawk, Thames, McGraw, Davies, and Moore are expected to reprise their roles. In May 2024, Universal postponed the Black Phone 2's theatrical release by 4 months to October 17th. Yeah, October 17th, 2025. After commissioning several new Blumhouse films for the calendar year. And yes, the Black Phone canon was expanded further in the anthology short film Dream Kill for VHS 85, which was released on Shudder on October 6, 2023. Dream Kill occurs 7 years after the events of the Black Phone and explores the life of Gwen's cousin Gunther, played by the Shield Derrickson. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay, so let's go on to some video game news. Actually, I would like to go into the let me see. Where is this? Where is it? Oh, let's go to the Video games chamber right here. All right. The video games chamber. Here we go. Here we go. Um, hold on. Hold on. All right, let's go into what's cracking in the video games chamber as far as some news, shall we? Of course, this is the leisure portion of entertainment, of course, actually. So, let's get into it. Um, Now, We're gonna go over some stuff that's going to be dropping in the month of July. All right, so we have. Hang on a second. Of course, the games that already came out already. That's Mika Break, PS5, Xbox, PC, Harvest Moon, The Lost Valley, and Sky Tree Village, July 3rd for Switch. College Football 26 already came out for PS5 and Xbox Series. Every Day We Fight that's out now for PC following Everdeep Aurora. Islanders, New Shores for PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And Michael Punk is out now for PC as well. Patapon Patapon 1 and 2 replay comes out this Michael Punk comes out on already it's already out right now actually. I do apologize. Patapon 1 and 2 replay is already out right now for PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is already out right now. And it's already out right now for PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. Kaizen, which is out today, it's already out right now. A Factory Story for PC, and July 15th already out right now. Destiny 2: The Edge of Fate expansion for PS5, Xbox, and PC. And then the following, Eden Zero, which is out right now, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Eric Shome, The Stolen Dream, out right now for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition is out right now for PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Worship is out today for PC. Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out tomorrow for Nintendo Switch. Mark your calendars. Following Neon Abyss 2 for PC. RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business expansion comes out the same day tomorrow. PS5, Xbox, and PC. The Wandering Village for Nintendo Switch comes out tomorrow as well. Now, Friday, Shadow Labyrinth comes out July 18th. PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. Kick in Hell. What the hell? What kind of wow? This shit is so fucking funny anyway. So yeah, Kick in Hell, which comes out on July 21st, the same day as my sister's birthday on PC. July 22nd, let me see. Misconception, I think Misconception, that's what it stands for, MISC. A Tiny Tale comes out for Nintendo Switch and PC for July 22nd, Nintendo Switch and PC. That's a Tuesday. Following Monument Valley 3 for PC. Wild Gate, PS5, Xbox, and PC for July 22nd. Eat the Rich by July 23rd for PC. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. Anyway, following Wheel World for PS5 and Xbox and PC. Killing Floor 3, July 24th, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, and Jamboree TV comes out the 24th of July for Nintendo Switch 2. Following Total Chaos for PC and Wu Chang Fallen Feathers for PS5, Xbox, and PC. All four of these games are coming out on the 24th of July. And July 25th, No Sleep for Kaname date for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 and PC. Following Wild Hearts S for Nintendo Switch 2. Grounded 2 for July 29th for Xbox and PC. Following Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game for PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. July 31st, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound for PS5, PS4, Switch, Xbox, and PC. And of course, September 12th for physical edition. And of course, System Shock 2, the 25th anniversary remaster for PS5, Nintendo Switch, and of course Xbox as well. Now let's see. Yeah, let's go over the release dates for August 2025. Gradius Origins, August 7th for PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. House of the Dead remake, also coming out the same day for Nintendo Switch and PC. Mafia: The Old Country, August 8th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Madden NFL 25, August 11th or the 14th, depending on the edition for PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch 2. Drag and Drive, August 14th for Nintendo Switch 2. August 19th, Sword of the Sea, PS5. Dying Light the Beast, August 22nd, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Gears of War Reloaded, August 26th, PS5, Xbox, PC. Helldivers 2 comes out August 26th for Xbox. August 27th, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar for Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater comes out August 28th, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Lost Soul Aside comes out August 29th for PS5 and PC. Following Shinobi Art of Vengeance, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Sea of Thieves, Smugglers Tide expansion, of course, comes out in the month of August 2025, PS5, Xbox, and PC. The rest of the months, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for each of the episodes, okay? Mark your calendars for all the games that's out, and the ones that's upcoming, including the Donkey Kong Bonanza. All right. Let's see. Is there any hold on a second. Is there any other video game news that I should let me see something. Let me see something before I wrap up. Let's see. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Um. All right. Let me see if there's any more news on. Okay. Let's see if there's any. Um. Oh, let's go over the game that got that has a good review right now. Let's go over the Donkey Kong Bonanza review. It looks like it got a good 4 stars though. So this is according to Video Games Chronicle. This must be a good game actually. So here's what's happening here. There's a lot to love or even adore about Donkey Kong Bonanza, Switch 2's first big platformer from the house of Mario. For a start, it delivers more of the delectable Super Mario Odyssey formula from many of the developers behind the Switch Classic, which means a tour de force of compelling platforming challenges, captivating worlds to explore, and colorful collectibles to grab with your big gorilla palms. Bonanza reinvents Donkey Kong and gives him his most memorable adventure in more than 2 decades, with a heartfelt story and pleasing nods to the classic games that made the ape such a beloved character to begin with. DK's return comes from some blemishes, however, notably some undercooked mechanics and occasional performance and camera issues, which keep Bonanza from quite matching the home run of Mario's last 3D outing. But while we can't totally overlook its shortcomings, but they don't prevent this from being a thoroughly entertaining adventure rather, and the best reason to pick up a Switch 2 so far. Donkey Kong Bonanza's story begins on Ingot Isle, where the discovery of special golden bananas called Banandium gems, which underground, Banandium gems deep underground, has sparked a gold rush, and primates of all sizes, including DK, have joined in a mammoth mining effort. The game begins with when a sudden storm sends Donkey Kong and friends spiraling into the deep underground, when he soon discovers a new companion, Odd Rock, who it later turns out it isn't a rock at all, but the singer Pauline. In Bonanza, Pauline is a timid young teen and not yet the confident singer players know from Super Mario Odyssey. Together, DK and Pauline embark on a subterranean adventure towards the planet's core, all while the nefarious Void Company attempts to stop them. The overarching format here is perhaps unsurprisingly hugely derivative of Super Mario Odyssey, right down to familiar fonts, sounds, and outfit shopkeepers. There are hundreds of Bonandium gems hidden across Bonanza's layers, which are its versions of kingdoms, aka worlds, which means you are finding them frequently, sometimes locked behind puzzles, but other times simply placed within the game world. Like Odyssey, Bonanza's appeal lies in its sheer variety of gameplay scenarios. Although the challenges here never quite reach the highs of the game it takes inspiration from, DK's adventure nonetheless delivers a cavalcade of ideas and mechanics that form a consistently entertaining platforming campaign. More than once during the review phase, I found myself glancing up at the excuse me at the clock face reading 1 a.m., which doesn't happen that often these days. In a typical game loop, players would go from exploring one of the many distinct 3D game worlds to diving into a side scrolling level or a mini game challenge, then a mini boss before exploring a town of NPCs and solving one of the many excellent puzzle levels which challenge you to utilize destruction in unexpected ways. Though Bonanza can occasionally feel quite workmanlike in its design, with the same gameplay formats returning on each stage. Its quickfire nature means it doesn't really matter as there's always something new and entertaining around each corner. Let's see. Overall, the subterranean concept is a fun idea that makes for some genuinely striking environments which are enjoyable to discover. And without verging too far into spoiler territory, Powers perhaps the most memorable final third of a Nintendo game in modern memory. The key differentiator of Donkey Kong Bonanza is its focus on destruction. Virtually all of the game worlds can be smashed to bits by the player, with DK able to punch them away using the face buttons to swing in different directions. The reward for this is in mining gold, which can be used as an important currency as well as discovering power ups and treasure maps hidden underground. In the preview phase, I criticized the game's core destruction mechanics for not feeling particularly fun or interesting to use in isolation. My issue was thankfully alleviated somewhat in the full game as um, Bonanza's developers seemingly realized the same thing and made sure that knocking the scenery part apart is rarely the sole focus of Bonanza's gameplay. Let's see. Um, if you are incriminately smashing through the world to reach your next goal or find a Benandium gem, as I so often was during the preview stage, without the context of the full game systems, then you are more than often playing the game wrong. Although nearly all of each world can be destroyed, they are still designed to flow like traditional platforming worlds. A sonar move allows DK to see collectibles behind scenery, but most of the time you would have uncovered these through exploration anyway. Outside of smashing, DK's movement is satisfying, weighty, yet he can virtually glide around the environment, clambering up walls, hanging from ceilings, rolling in a ball, and even surfing atop pieces of scenery. There are a deceptive number of advanced moves to learn, and this time some of them can be upgraded or unlocked via a skill point system, which gives an additional incentive to hunt out Benandium gems. Destruction has been done before better, in other games released long ago. There are barely any physics at play here at all. Instead, its appeal in Bonanza comes from the connection to the rest of the design, such as the unique enemies and obstacles that need to be tactically smashed, or the many excellent challenge levels that feel like monkey ball. Monkey ball. Oh wow. Meets red faction. Oh man. Wow. Oh man, this is some funny shit though. Um, yeah, that's funny though, man. Oh shit, the destructibility of the game world is more interesting when it becomes about utilizing the different elements as creation tools rather than as obstacles. As Bonanza progresses, players will find themselves more frequently seeking out chunks of ice to extinguish lava, or throwing heavy rocks at cloud platforms to weight them down. Later, the developer begins to have more fun with this idea, introducing rocks which decay can bounce off of, or elements that have gravity defying effects when held launching you into the sky. Players can also make makeshift bridges with chunks of sand, protecting themselves from harmful weather by holding scenery aloft. Ride chunks of the scenery like skateboards and more, all great ideas that we wish were expanded upon more significantly than they actually are. In truth, Donkey Kong Bonanza is as much a game about destruction as it is a game about transformations. As you progress through the planet layers, you'll encounter different elder creatures who, when brought a specific power up, will unlock a different animal transformation for DK utilizing Pauline's singing ability. It's all a bit Banjo Kazooie then. Except in this game, players can activate an animal transformation at any time and switch between them on the fly. This is not a spoiler, folks. This is just a review that somebody did. Um, Initially, you'll gain access to the Kong Bonanza, which can smash scenery more easily, and then the Zebra Bonanza, which can run across water and collapsing bridges, and the Ostrich Bonanza, which can glide in the air and drop egg bombs. For example, if hard concrete is blocking your path, you can switch the DK Bonanza to smash through it. If you spot a Bonandium gum, or is it gem, on an island surrounded by thorns, you can switch to the ostrich and glide across. There are more transformations we won't mention, and as additional trinkets in an already stuffed toy box. They undoubtedly elevate the experience. Individually, they are not particularly unique, and most don't meaningfully utilize the destruction mechanic. Their effectiveness is also very situational, to the point where we wondered if they'd have been better off utilized as standard Mario style power ups. This is emphasized by the fact that the standout sequences for each power up comes in challenge levels where you can't switch them where you can't switch between them, rather, excuse me, um, and instead are forced to think utilizing their unique abilities. There are also few challenges that require combinations, which is a shame, which left me feeling that overall other transformation games like Camille or even Zelda Majora's Mask executed the um, idea better. By the time the credits rolled, the transformations felt like one of numerous ideas introduced in Donkey Kong Bonanza that it never truly capitalizes upon. At one point, progression seemingly expands with a branching path, only for it never to be used again. Similarly, other unique ideas are introduced and then never meaningfully fleshed out. Fleshed out. Like most of Donkey Kong Bonanza, then if you start digging beneath the surface, you find flaws in its construct. But combined, its foundations form an adventure that's genuinely greater than the sum of its parts. I'd be lying if I said I didn't thoroughly enjoy the moment to moment of its campaign when even when I kept noticing the parts of its design that could have been executed better. Um, and at the surface level, there are even parts of Bonanza I absolutely adore. Narratively, it has a stronger heart than most Nintendo games, and DK's redesign with his wild expressions and exaggerated movement is an undoubted hit. The relationship between DK and Pauline and the emotional drive it gives their journey to the planet's core as she grows in confidence and becomes a strong ally is another highlight. Her addition elevates the game and at times feels like a new direction for Nintendo, a company that traditionally didn't care for plots, let alone giving niche side characters a compelling backstory. Bonanza is also a game that shows great respect to the classic Donkey Kong games, from arcade to country. Its countless references to past outings, including nostalgic side scrolling levels, cameo appearances, and the wonderful renditions of David Wise's classic soundtrack, will have the biggest fans welling up with joy. If this marks the beginning of a new direction for Nintendo's Great Ape, I look forward to Nintendo delving deeper into the concept. Donkey Kong Bonanza has a lot of heart, and that can take you a long way. While DK's subterranean adventure doesn't reach the heights of the masterpiece, it takes great influence from Bonanza. It Bonanza is still a thoroughly entertaining platformer that gives the ape his most memorable adventure in a while, and the best reason so far to buy a Nintendo Switch 2. So there you go, right there. Um, So the Donkey Kong Bonanza review goes like this: falling short of Odyssey's genius, Donkey Kong Bonanza is still a top tier Nintendo Switch 2 platformer from the masters of the genre. A heartfelt story and pleasing nods to DK's past make this the ape's most memorable adventure in many years. DK's most memorable adventure in decades, a heartfelt narrative with charming characters, a strong roster of unique worlds to discover, amazing callbacks to classic DK games. Transformations aren't executed as well as they could have been. Occasional performance and camera issues, little challenging gameplay. Oh boy. So yeah. So there you go. 4 stars, man. That's what Donkey Kong Bonanza receives. So that's not bad, man. You know what I mean? That's not bad for a video game that's been popular over the years since the Nintendo days though, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, like I said, mark your calendars for tomorrow. It comes out. Um Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out tomorrow, July 17th, for Nintendo Switch 2. All right. So get ready, even though you're not gonna be able to, even though you're not gonna be able to, you know, the law on lines is gonna be a little crazy. So you might want to actually try to, order it online actually, so it doesn't get sold out, so you don't feel left out as a gamer. So yeah, there you go. All right. All right. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. All right. We're gonna go to our last segment of the night, man. All right. Hang on one second. All right, let's go to stream choices on the go. If you're new here, this is where I inform you in regards to where you can listen to the episodes on every streaming platforms, which I will hop into right now. So let's get into it right now. All right, make sure you follow the entertainment review show Meticulous Juice podcast on Blue Sky Social alongside with Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. I will be doing some postings about each episode that's dropping. And in case anybody is wondering, I haven't been on Instagram Live for a very long time because I got cyberbullied months ago. So I wanted to take a breather off of that shit. So please forgive me if you haven't seen any Instagram live feeds and whatnot. It's been it's been difficult for me. You know what I'm saying. It's been very fucking difficult. So that's why you only seeing postings instead of the videos and stuff. So if I get another Android tablet, hopefully I'll get to do some Instagram live feeds and stuff. So you know what I'm saying, and then I'll just add some of the short videos to my playlist of my YouTube channel of just chatting. All right. In case anybody wants to know what's been going on with me and all the other stuff, I got y'all, man. So just give me some time for me to look for another job, though. All right. So, so yeah, there you go, right there, man. Just my little explanation for that one right there. And yes, you can also follow my other podcast shows that's also on the same social media platforms that I just mentioned just now. You can follow, which is yeah, which is my sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. I just finished recording episode 99. Um, um and I'm and of course Meticulous Juice podcast, of course, which is what I'm recording. Alongside with you can also follow my comedy off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. All right. Um, I may be doing a double recording tomorrow for 404 and 405. So stay tuned for that right there. So stay tuned for that. Also, you can also follow me on Threads and Instagram, your host with the most, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. All right. And if you go to the link in bio, you're gonna see Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Hold on, you're gonna see Linktree / Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast 5. Um, that's where you can actually see some streaming platforms that's happening. Um, and I'm glad I'll gladly go over the streaming platforms where you can actually listen to the episodes and where you can watch them. So I got y'all. Now, let's now you can listen to the episodes on Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Please leave a review and 5 stars. It really helps content creators like myself, who is a podcaster, YouTuber, and all that other stuff. Even though I don't show my face throughout the whole video. Um, the reason I don't do that is because I wanted to actually make sure that I have my topics in front of me, so I don't so nobody assumes that I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I do my research on my Android tablet to help me, you know, with the topics to talk about. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, we are on Good Pods, Castbox FM, These are Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overall FM Podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snip, Spotify. Add the podcast to your Spotify playlist, please. It would really mean a lot to me for those of you that have Spotify on your phones, Android tablets, laptops. Please feel free to actually listen to the episodes. I'm really trying to do my best in growing this podcast and the community behind it for you fans out there. All right. So, all right. So, yeah, we're on Spotify for creators. Of course, you can comment on there as well. We are on TuneIn Radio, Fountain, along with iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists such as R&B singers, rappers, hip hop artists, and any music genre that you listen to that you desire. Um, Radio stations, and of course, you can listen to the podcast show and episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is follow the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast on iHeartRadio alongside with other streaming platforms that I just mentioned, and of course, for visuals, do the same on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast YouTube channel page for more video episode podcast live stream recordings, and of course video uploads. You should be getting some notifications on when each video will be uploaded, so you don't miss out on any of the recording schedules, the date and the time when I'll be on the air via live stream. All right. Of course, leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics that's been discussed in this episode. Tell me how you feel about the Black Phone review, the music topics, and of course the video game topics of each game that's coming out in July and August. All right. So, of course, like I said, add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. Um, I'm trying to increase the listeners and everything else in between, and and of course, um, and of course, enable alerts so you don't miss out on uploads, and of course, new episodes that's going to be recorded. And of course, new episodes are on every streaming platform on Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays on every streaming platform. Of course, be sure to share the Linktree link with the Linktree link with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with from work, and of course, spread the word. Word of mouth is important as well. So yeah, there you go, right there. There you go, right there. That's gonna do it, that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, and I appreciate everyone. I appreciate every single listener out there for your patience with me and the tough times that I've been through, and of course the mental break that I needed from being laid off from work 11 months ago, and of course with the recording schedule and stuff. So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, there you go. Um, so yeah, I'd like to say thank you to every single listener out there who took the time to actually listen to the episodes on every streaming platform. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and get it and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. So follow your heart, follow your goals and dreams, and whatever you're trying to do, especially if you are a podcaster like myself, even though you're not making money off of it, but it's still a fun um, hobby. It's a fun hobby, and you know it helps people like me, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And for you out there that want to start a podcast, don't let anyone or anybody stop you from doing that. There is no right or wrong time to start a podcast, and the same goes with there is no right or wrong time to start a podcast. All right. And if you're nervous, that's okay. It's okay to be nervous if you are behind the microphone and behind a webcam or a camera, um, all that great stuff. All you need to do is just, practice. Practice make perfect. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, you're not gonna get it overnight though. These things take time. So yeah, be yourself behind the microphone while you are on your P's and Q's behind the microphone recording your episodes of your podcast shows, and of course, like I said, have confidence. Have confidence. Very important. Be yourself. Creatively, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. And and yeah, I'll be back with more of the new topics, the new reviews, the new episodes, and all that other stuff. So stay tuned for more new topics and stuff, all that great stuff. I will in the future on my other podcast show, my other platform, my comedy off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. I will be talking about um there's a casting in regards to the Legend of Zelda movie, the live action movie that's happening right now. Um I will go over that, and I'll possibly go over it here too. So don't worry. Don't worry, I got y'all. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the flip side, man. Peace and one love. I hope y'all keeping yourself cooled down from the heat wave with the air conditioner, some water, some electrolytes from Gatorade. If you are outside working hard, whether you are a cop, whether you are a fireman, whether you firefighter, whether you are EMT, whether you are an Amazon delivery driver delivering packages to people's homes, and whatever delivery you're doing, whether you are whether it's Instacart, whether it's DoorDash, whatever it may be that you're doing, please make sure you take some water with you and keep yourself hydrated and all that great stuff right there though. So, and if you don't have to be outside, you don't have to be outside during the heat wave unless you have work. Unless you have work, just be careful out there, especially out on these streets, especially with the crazy attacks in subway stations and stuff like that. So yeah, so yeah, there you go, right there. There you go, right there, folks. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and one love, and of course, I'll be back with another episode, man. I appreciate y'all patience, and don't worry, folks, and to all the listeners out there, you're gonna hear more of me and my voice, regardless of the new job that I am going to have in the future. I may not have everything figured out, but I will eventually figure out which times is going to be suitable for me in the daytime, rather than me doing things at night. All right. So don't worry. I got you covered with everything. Peace and one love. Good night, everybody.